Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to YAHAWAH, bahasham, YAHAWASHI, bahasham, Rakakwadash. Alright, YAHAWAH is the Heavenly Father's name, who the world ignorantly calls God. YAHAWASHI is the name of His Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Greatmillstone who rule well and teach well. Peace and blessings to the elect brothers out there of Israel that's pushing this word in all truth and in sincerity. Now I know brothers, I've seen this, this kind of blew up really quick. That brother from the up and coming elder in New York, he made like 2 videos already, and it came out like just the other day. But there's a lot of edification that can be brought out of this because it illustrates Jacob's trouble really well. But yeah, I was gonna play the video and then pause it whenever I think of some scriptures and and just break it down basically. So yeah.
Cities are reeling as the meteor storm, zombie epidemic, and alien encounters continue unabated.
Now, it said meteor showers, zombie outbreak, and what was the third? Yeah.
Meteor storm, zombie epidemic, and alien encounters.
Alien encounters. And now, Jacob's trouble isn't gonna actually, be filled with that because, well, the way to break down like whenever shows show zombie outbreaks, that's it's spiritually showing you like 3 things in one. One being epidemic, and the scriptures talk about that. Second Ezra's 16th chapter. Because plagues are gonna break out. Let's see. Yeah, Second Ezra 16 and 19. Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourgers for amendment. But for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. Verse 22. For many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. Because what happens when famine hits and plagues hit, showing the zombies like they're bugging out, they're sick in the mind, and when famine hits, they're gonna resort to cannibalism. But another thing that shows is they're the living dead, which is they're blinded. They're blinded from the truth, so they're just walking. They're the walking dead. Let's see. Let's get to this chapter. 2 Corinthians 4 and 3. But if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost, in whom the God of this world hath blinded the minds of them which believe not, lest the light of the glorious gospel of Mashiach, who is the image of the Most High, should shine unto them. So the people without the truth, they're already zombies, and then when the famine hits, they're going to resort to cannibalism, because wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times. If you ain't got it, then you're going to bug out, man, like a zombie. Isaiah 33 and 6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure, because when you fear the Lord, you're not going to fear anything else. And to break down the meteors, I believe that's also in 2 Ezra 16. That's talking about the nuclear missiles. I'll start at 3. It says, a sword is sent upon you, and who may turn it back? A fire is sent among you, and who may quench it? Plagues are sent unto you, and what is he that may drive them away? May any man drive away an hungry lion in the wood? Or may any one quench the fire in stubble, when it hath begun to burn? Um, may one turn again the arrow that is shot of a strong archer? And same thing with these missiles, man. When that button is pushed, it's damn near impossible. Like they say, you have a better statistic opportunity for two blindfolded men on each on a horse to both shoot a gun and the bullets hit. You know, it's so. I mean, just put that out there. The mighty Lord sendeth the plagues, and who is he that can drive them away? A fire shall go forth from his wrath, and who is he that may quench it? Let's see. I'm gonna jump down to verse 13. It says, "For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. His arrows that he shooteth are sharp, and shall not miss, when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world." All right, so this is talking about nuclear intercontinental ballistic missiles, man, because there's no other weapon. When it's talking about bows and arrows, that's just Ezra describing a weapon. All right, and if they're able to, only ICBM missiles are able to go from one end of the earth to the other. Behold, the plagues are sent and shall not return again until they come upon the earth. Because the way ICBM works is that it goes into orbit and then it comes back it goes out of space into orbit and then it comes down. The fire is kindled and shall not be put out till it consume the foundation of the earth. Like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer returneth not backward, even so the plagues that shall be sent upon earth shall not return again. Then what was the other one? Oh yeah, the UFOs. I'll break that down in a second. I'm going to let this play some more.
Continue unabated. Safe to say, this is the best week ever.
What are you doing? Run! It's the week of greatness. What you doing? It's really happening! This is a real thing!
Nah, man. This is the real thing.
Hey, that made me think of something. Yeah, this is Matthew 7 and 21. Not everyone that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter the kingdom of heaven, but he that doth the will of my Father which is in heaven. Many will say to me in that day, Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in thy name, and in thy name have cast out devils, and in thy name done many wonderful works? And then will I profess unto them, I never knew you. Depart from me, ye that work iniquity. Because the guy that was holding up the sign, the end is here. He wasn't arrayed in that good apparel. All right. Now, if you have, the spiritual mind, if you know that scripture that talks about, put on, the whole armor of the Most High, and the garments of righteousness, so to speak. He was he's bugged out, man, because the scriptures talk about false prophets. They might know a little something, or have a zeal, but it's not according to knowledge. That's I know that one. Romans, I'll get the chapter. I'll start at 1. Brethren, my heart's desire and prayer to the Most High for Israel is that they might be saved. For I bear them record that they had the zeal of the Most High, but not according to knowledge. And that guy didn't have it. Because he was surprised that it was happening, showing that he didn't really, believe it was happening, that it was going to happen. He probably was doing it for attention,
This is the real thing!
Nah, man. This is the real thing.
Come on, man. Let's see, what was another one? Many false prophets. That's like Matthew, 24. Matthew 24 and 11. And many false prophets shall rise and shall deceive many. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. You know? But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. But yeah, the main point, many false prophets shall arise. You know, and there's a show called Rick and Morty, right? There's this one episode where giant floating heads start like invading the earth, and people started worshiping it because they knew that was causing like mayhem, like the tidal waves started happening, earthquakes and other disasters, and they're like, yeah, like all these other religions are fake, we got to worship that because that's literally controlling the weather right now. But then, out of that, you had people use like the new religion to worship the heads and their own agenda. Same thing happens to this day, man. They see Greatmillstone breaking down scriptures and showing you, where it talks about so-called UFOs being the chariots of the Most High, and then people taking those and saying that aliens are real, right? And so on and so forth, man. Trying to go about their own agenda for filthy lucre's sake, or just for fame, whatever. But the point of the matter is that, many false prophets are coming and they deceive many, all right?
Are you wearing the new Icon Clash?
I need this in a size 8.
I need a 6.
I need this in a 16. I got you.
Not today.
Is it Dad?
That's not dead.
The brother in New York, and in the comment section, and I'm gonna talk about the comment section in a little bit, but right then it sounds like he's saying the elect. I mean, he's really saying this is lit, but to the spiritual discerned man, the Most High is making chess moves, all right? He put it on the spirit of whoever directed this commercial, about this stuff, man. And that's another thing too. Brothers always, give Esau too much credit, saying, "Oh, Esau put these subliminal messages in." Hell no, man. The Most High sent a spirit to, work on this Edomite to put these subliminal messages in. All right. But yeah, he's saying the elect, and it looks like a northern tribe, brother, man. And now I'm gonna break down the chariots. So let's go to the 13th or 14th. Yeah, Second Ezra, the 13th chapter, I believe. All right, it says this was a dream that Ezra had, one of the many dreams that the Most High had Ezra have after a long fast. I'll start at verse 5. You know what? No, I'll start at 1. 2 Ezra 13 and 1. And it came to pass after 7 days, I dreamed a dream by night, and lo, there arose a wind from the sea, that it moved all the waves thereof. And behold, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him. And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice, like as the earth faileth when it feeleth the fire. And after this I behold, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea. But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain, and flew up upon it. But I would have seen the region or place wherein the hill was graven, and I could not. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet durst fight. And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth, as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. And basically the point being, he graved himself a great mountain and flew up upon it, and he's coming with his thousands. All right, and that's talked about throughout the scriptures. And that great mountain is a so-called UFO. They're referred to as clouds in the scriptures. Matter of fact, in Revelation, it talks about him coming with clouds. Yeah. Revelation 1:7, it says, Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. Even so, amen. All right, let's get another one. Let's see. This is Acts 1:11. Let's get the King James. All right, Acts 1:11. No, let's start up at 9. It says, And when he had spoken these things while they beheld, he was taken up, YAHAWASHI was taken up, and a cloud received him out of their sight. No, it's not talking about an actual cloud, it's talking about the clouds that he's going to return with, or the thousands that he returns with. Because I know in 2nd Esdras, cloud and thousand is interchangeable. If I can see. And in Revelation, I believe too. If I can find it, I'll show the camera. Let's see, let's go to 2nd Esdras. Yeah. So 2nd Esdras 13:3, which I read previously. You see, it has wherever these two little lines are, right next to thousands, right here, where my middle finger is. It over to the sidebar. It has those two little lines again, and it tells you another close word that could be used instead of the whatever phrase or word is right after those two lines. So where thousands and clouds are, it's interchangeable, all right? Because these are his vehicles for his army. Just like you have, like Esau has his air support. He has militarized weapons, tanks, jeeps, to transport cargo. So does the Most High, man. The scriptures talk about how he's a man of war. So I mean, if he gives Esau some instruments, you best believe he's gonna have his own. let's see. But yeah, where was I? So a cloud received him out of their sight, and while they looked steadfastly toward heaven as he went up, behold, two men stood by them in white apparel, which also said, Ye men of Galilee, why stand ye gazing up into heaven? This same YAHAWASHI which is taken up from you into heaven shall so come in like manner as ye have seen him go into heaven. So just like what's illustrated in this video right here, you know, him getting beamed up like this. You know, that's how he's gonna come back, man. In his chariots. Alright?
Hell yeah. Hey kid, where are you headed? You know it's the end of the world, right? Yeah, but it's the start of a week of greatness.
Yeah, man. Let's see. Let's go to Second Ezra chapter 6 verse 9. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. You know? And that's what you have right here, man. Esau is like, don't you know it's the end of the world?
But it's the start of a week of greatness.
But it's the start of week of greatness, baby. You know? Because when Esau's world is falling, Jake's world is just starting, man. It's on the come up. It's on the turn up and turn around, bro. Let's see. Second Ezra is, you know, you can see why Esau hates Second Ezra, because I think it's Second Ezra 2, second chapter. Yeah, Second Ezra 2. Man, this is a good chapter too. I don't know where I should start. I'll start at 26. As for the servants whom I have given thee, there shall not one of them perish. For I will require them from among thy number. Be not weary, for when the day of trouble and heaviness cometh, others shall weep and be sorrowful, but thou shalt be merry and have abundance. You know? You know, and you know, these Jakes, you know, it's northern and southern, and you know, I think there's like one Edomite looking dude, but you know, to the spiritually discerned, he's a Israelite that's scattered. Yeah, it's right here, and his hair is a little too long, but you know, you gotta when you know Esau makes his bullshit, you gotta, you know, just remix it in your head a little bit. Like for example, when the Avengers happened, in my head, Thanos snapped again. All right, and Iron Man couldn't save the day, man. But anyways, it says, "Be not weary, for when the day of trouble and heaviness cometh, others shall weep and be sorrowful, but thou shalt be merry and have abundance." You know, and all these Jakes, you know, they're decked out, they're chilling, you know, getting down and meditating on the abundance, man. You know, they're just cooling and booing, man. My hands shall cover thee, so that thy children shall not see hell. All right. Be joyful, O thou mother, with thy children, for I will deliver thee, saith the Lord. And that's also in Isaiah 66. I think. Oh no, but this verse 15. Oh, I'll start at 14. That's the spirit, though. Isaiah 66 and 14. And when ye see this, your heart shall rejoice, and your bones shall flourish like an herb. And the hand of the Lord shall be known toward his servants. Yeah, because at the very beginning, where, yeah, right here, where she's about to say, this is the worst week ever.
It's the best week ever.
You know? Because, like, when this happens, man, it's going to be it says, your heart shall rejoice, and your bones shall flourish like an herb, and the hand of the Lord shall be known towards his servants. Because, you know, the people that were decked out in the Nike apparel, you know, they were clear, like, you could definitely spot them easily. And his indignation toward his enemies. Yeah, because everybody else in the commercial was catching hell. And the brother broke it down, too, that word Nike goes back to the Greek god of victory, you know? And, yeah. I remember one camp when we met down in New Orleans. You know, the up and coming elder from Mississippi, brother YAHAWAH. He was talking about this, man, and it got me hyped. You know, because this is one of my favorite scriptures. But 1 Corinthians 15. Man, this is another good like chapter. I'll start at 50. It says, now this I say, brethren, that the flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of the Most High, neither doth corruption inherit incorruption. Behold, I show you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we shall be changed. And that sleep meaning like dying, you know, because that's all dying is, you know, resting. You know, your body, you know, dissolves in the ground or whatever after you're buried. Your spirit goes into the spiritual realm to rest. It says, but not all of us are going to do that. We're going to be changed. In a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump, for the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed. For this corruptible must put on incorruption, and this mortal must put on immortality. So when this corruptible shall have put on incorruption, and this mortal shall have put on immortality, then shall be brought to pass the saying that is written, death is swallowed up in victory, man. O death, where's thy sting? O grave, where's thy victory, man? You know, because like I said, that elder YAHAWAH, he was like, you gotta understand, like, YAHAWASHI is coming back to defeat death. You know, we're gonna get new bodies, and we're not gonna die anymore. We're not gonna suffer, you know, these little stubbing your toe on the edge of the bed thing anymore, man. You know, you're not gonna be feeling sickly. Like, death itself is gonna be beaten. All right. The sting of death is sin, and the strength of sin is the law. You know, because we're gonna have those you know, righteous bodies, man. It's not gonna be on our nature to go off, man. So Nike victory, you know, we're gonna put on that immortality. That's what I see when that happens. Oh, and another little side thing in this last scene.
Where are you headed? You know it's the end of the world, right? Yeah, but it's the start of a week of greatness.
Notice how this traffic isn't moving? Makes you think of 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter. Man shall desire to go into a city. Oh, I never got to finish this. Anyways, Isaiah 66 and 15. For behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire. For by fire and by a sword will the Lord plead with all flesh. The slain of the Lord shall be many. Alright? So I'll let it play out, and then I'm going to get 2nd Ezra 15. Oh, there's 3. Oh, and this monster, man. You know, even though it looks like an octopus, hey, that's symbolic for Leviathan, man. And any other beast or apparitions that the Most High might unleash on the world, man.
Just the person together.
Boom. Hell yeah, man. That's a good commercial. Man, I might just go to the comment boys because, I saw a lot of brothers put scriptures up here. Matthew 24:37. But as the days of Noah were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. For as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, until the day that Noah entered into the ark, and knew not until the flood came and took them all away. So shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. And that happens too. Like that's also what this commercial is illustrating to the undiscerned. All right, it's like, so what? It's the end of the world. Go out and buy Nike. YOLO spirit. See if I can hide these. Yeah. And there's scoffers on Footlocker's page. Yeah, this is a good one. 2 Ezra 16:42. He that occupieth merchandise, as he that hath no profit by it, and he that buildeth, as he that shall not dwell therein. And they that occupy their merchandise with robbery, the more they deck their cities, their houses, their possessions, and their own persons, the more will I be angry with them for their sin, saith the Lord. Yeah, that's a good one too, because you're going to have, it talks about it in 2 Ezra, the 15th chapter, and throughout the scriptures, that people are going to resort to looting, all right, and rioting, and the actions standing in the course of their own actions. Yeah, our salvation is nearer than we believed. This dude said, I've had dreams of this. That's the Spirit being poured out among all flesh. Yeah, and these riots are happening all over the world. Bolivia, Colombia, and coming soon to Peru. Yeah, Jeremiah 11:11. Therefore, thus saith the Lord YAHAWAH, behold, I will bring evil upon them, which they shall not be able to escape. And though they shall cry unto me, I will not hearken unto them. Yeah, because that's when Jacob's want to get right. Is going to want to get right when all the evils are going on to him. And one of my favorite scriptures to quote is Judges 11. Because this is bad, man. Or it might be 10. Yeah, I think it's 10. Judges 10. Yeah, Judges 10 and 13. Yet ye have forsaken me and served other gods, wherefore I will deliver you no more. Go cry unto the gods which ye have chosen. Let them deliver you in the time of your tribulation. So, hey man, the Most High is going to turn his back on Jake during that day. All right? The ones that want to play both sides, want to be lukewarm. And wanting to wait to the last minute to get Nikes. No, man. But yeah, man, even again, 1 Corinthians 10:2, having that zeal of the Most High, but not according to knowledge. You got people in the world that realize that this is preemptive programming and such. But yeah, man, people know. There's a lot of brothers commenting on this, quoting scriptures. See, you got scoffers too. When does a week of greatness start and end? LOL. When is the apocalypse happening? This week or next year this time? That's probably a Jake just wanting to know when the last second to get right is. Yeah, man. Luke 12:46. The Lord of the servant will come in a day when he looketh not for him, and at an hour when he is not aware, and will cut him in sunder, and will appoint him his portion with the unbelievers. Yeah, man, it's just funny because like, people getting cut on the comment boards. That's why Google is coming up with these new terms and conditions, and is gonna start deleting all these accounts, man, because this truth is getting out here. All right, I mean, brothers don't realize how much we're impacting the world, bro. Because it's really crazy how big this truth is, man, is getting and has been, you know. But yeah, I wanted to get 2nd Ezra 15, and I'll close with that. I didn't mean for it to run on this long, but hey, there's a lot of edification to be brought out from this video, bro. 2nd Ezra 15, and yeah, it also talks plagues on Egypt, and America is spiritually called Egypt, Sodom and Egypt. But I wanted to start at 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. One people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able to. And that's why this traffic is backed up, man. They're all trying to escape this shit, but you can't go nowhere. You got the military blocking that shit off, trying to contain all that destruction and just leave it in that one area. For because of their pride, and the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because the lack of bread, and for great tribulation. So I mean, if you got a can of beans, shit, that's putting a target on your house, bro. That's just how it is. Oh, I forgot to get this one. My servant shall eat. Isaiah 65. Earlier I thought it was in 66, but it is a spirit, because that scripture was cold too. Isaiah 65, and I'll start at 13. Therefore thus saith the Lord power, behold, my servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servant shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. Behold, my servant shall sing for a joy of heart, but ye shall cry for sorrow of heart, and shall howl for vexation of spirit. That's another thing that happened, because Esau looks so bummed out. It's the end of the world, right? Shut your ass up. I'm booming. Week of greatness, baby. Yer. It says, and ye shall leave your name for a curse unto my chosen. For the Lord, YAHAWASHI, power, shall slay thee, and call his servants by another name. That he who blesseth himself in the earth shall bless himself in the power of truth. And he that sweareth in the earth shall by the power of truth, because the former troubles are forgotten, and because they are hid from mine eyes. So, hey, the elect are going to rise up, 2/3 are going to be cut off, and Esau is going down, bro, and these other nations too. So I'll end it with that. Hope this video is edifying. Shalom.